Hi, I think I'm live. I'm not quite sure. I haven't done a YouTube live in like a very, very, very long time. So I actually don't remember what it looks like or what it feels like when you're live and when you're actually doing it. But hi, I hope that it looks and sounds okay. If it doesn't, let me know. I'm just gonna check it on my phone as well. Hi, Blue Whales, how are you? You're very welcome. Just 1 second, I'm just gonna see exactly what this looks like. This live is totally experimental, by the way, just to see how it would go if we did a live out here, so we can just like test it out and see how it goes. So I am just gonna check it out on my own phone here as well because again, I'm not exactly sure what it's like. I haven't done this in like a very, very long time. But you're all very welcome. How are you? Cool beans. Hi, Angelika. Hi, Daniela. How are you? All right. So yeah, it looks like it's all right. It looks like it's going fine. Hey, how's everyone doing? Well, I'm doing very well. It is very, very nice to meet you all. Thank you all for stopping by. What are your thoughts on the mongrel dogs of the Empire? Well, I think that mongrel dogs bit says it all. So yeah. So I realized that since I started this channel like a month ago, I haven't really talked a lot about myself or said anything about myself. In fact, for most of you, I've kind of just appeared here and you guys went with it and I went with it. So, we're all kind of going with it. So I thought it would be nice to do like a Q&A and like sit here and just like chat to you guys for a little while to see like if we can get to know each other a little better and clear up a few doubts that people have had about me because I think one thing that you should probably know about me is that I'm not new to the internet or YouTube and content creation specifically. So yeah, that's a little bit confusing for some people that they find me and they're like, what is this? What are you doing? Like, are you some sort of spy? Well, I am, but not really. Any news from the other provinces? Well, we're about to get into all of that. Was Mankar Cameron right? Well, you know what? I think if you really, really read into what he was saying, maybe he had a point. Is that like controversial to say that Mankar Cameron had a point? I think it might be, but yeah. Here we are. Imperial spy. Yeah, like I've been labeled an imperial spy. I've been told all sorts of things, and I can assure you that I am not an imperial spy. Are you Polish? Trying to place your accent. Well, there you go. We're getting started with the Q&A because the questions are coming in. So, no, I'm not Polish. I'm actually Russian, and I've been living in Ireland for like 17 years now, which is why I don't have a Russian accent and I speak fluent English, but I also speak fluent Russian. So there you go. I've heard others say the same. Have you? Look closely to the camera and tell me everything will be okay. Why would I do that? How do I know that everything will be okay? Why would I lie to you? I don't do that kind of thing. I don't lie to people. I knew your channel in Spanish. Your English is amazing. Can't believe how flawless it is. Yeah, so my other channel from like where people know me is in Spanish. I also speak fluent Spanish and that's kind of where I come from. That's the side of content that I do. By the way, I have like a quick question. Does everyone see the stream okay? Like, does it look fine? Does it look good? I don't have like the best internet in the world, so it's pretty typical for me to like have issues on stream. If it's like lagging a little bit, it'll likely like settle and get better. But yeah, just let me know what it's looking like. Look into the camera and tell us that nothing will be okay. I think that's a much safer option. Yeah, nothing will be okay. Be on your guard like all the time. Is that like what you wanted to hear? I can't even. Looks amazing just like you. Oh wow, thank you. I'm humbled. The Dunmer are the best part of the Elder Scrolls lore, unique culture and fantastic design to their architecture, clothing, etc. Do you agree? I think the Dunmer are probably the most unique race when we think about like the context of fantasy worlds and games. So yeah, I definitely agree that they're very interesting. Hispanics rise up. Y si se ve súper bien el video. Pues muchas gracias. Sí, que yo tengo muchas dudas porque es primera vez que hago esto. Mickey D crossover when? Oh, you guys are hold your horses a little bit. Yeah, I don't know why I'm so nervous doing this, by the way. I do this like all the time. Like another thing that you guys should probably know about me is that I do streams pretty much all the time, like every day in Spanish. But it just feels so weird to be like in an in a place where, like, I don't know any of you guys, and none of you guys know me, so we're kinda, like, testing the waters, but I also feel a bit nervous doing it. I don't know if that's, like, obvious. Um, but I shouldn't be, like, I do this all the time. I literally sit here, like, for hours, and I do all sorts of streams, we play games, it's not something, like, uncommon for me, you know what I mean? That's cool, but have you heard of the High Elves? I have indeed heard of the High Elves. Very bad things, of course. We are Oblivion NPCs, as well. Yeah, you know what? If I picture you guys as all like being Oblivion NPCs, maybe it'll be a little bit easier and we can have an Oblivion NPC conversation. I feel like if I get too nervous, that's what it's going to turn into. Like this whole live stream is just like a glorified Oblivion NPC conversation. Like that's what it's going to be. So I do apologize in advance if that is what it turns into, but you have been warned. So, I saw a mud crab the other day. I've seen various mud crabs, so I know how that feels. Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times. What games do you play in Spanish? So World of Warcraft is the main thing that I'd streamed when I did my Spanish speaking streams. In fact, like recently it had been like the thing that I did, especially with the release of World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore. I love that. I live for hardcore. It's like I think it's the thing that really revived WoW for me after like all this time. So yeah, that was that's what I've mostly done. But we do variety. Like we don't just stick to one game, really. Um, you're pretty chill. Anybody who plays Oblivion is good in my book. Well, that's great. And imagine the audience in the arena. That's us. Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes things a lot better. Yeah, thank you. The arena audience is sick. How many languages do you speak? I speak 3 languages. I speak English, obviously, Russian, and Spanish. Так что если у нас здесь есть русскоговорящие, то добро пожаловать. И с вами тоже могу поговорить. Have you played Baldur's Gate 3? No, I have not, but I have heard that if you like Elder Scrolls, like if you're a fan of, particularly people have been saying this about Skyrim, but like who knows? They say that Baldur's Gate 3 will be like right up my alley. So I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm definitely like looking at it. Would Baldur's Gate 3 centered content be something that you'd be interested in? Like this particular channel, I'm not just planning on keeping it like strictly to Elder Scrolls. It's definitely what I want to start out with because it's like Elder Scrolls is always on my mind. Like I swear all I do is like consume Elder Scrolls related content. So that's what I kind of wanted to start it off with and create content about that. But I definitely do want to expand into other games and other universes that also interest me. So if Baldur's Gate 3 is something that you guys like, I think that would be like interesting to also go into that in this channel. Especially if it's going to be like first time experiences. Like I haven't played Baldur's Gate 2 or 1. I've known about it from my dad. My dad liked those games, I believe, but I've not played any of them, including the third. I wish Elder Scrolls mud crabs were real. Being able to go on the marsh a minute down the road by foot and catch a massive crab would be so rad. I like how this is just like a kind of thing that like people that play Elder Scrolls think about. Like it would be so cool to just like catch a mud crab and like bring him home. Yeah, is that like the kind of thing? How often do you honor Sithis? Oh, can't be talking about them on. Can't be talking about that on the live stream. Where are you from? So I'm Russian, but I live in Ireland, and I have lived here for like 17 years. Actually, it's officially 17 years since December, so it's been a pretty long time. I'd really love to see Morrowind content. I love your videos so far. We actually do have a Morrowind video. The last video that I made was about Morrowind clothing. It was like a super highly requested video as well. I know that this was something that like since like the Oblivion video was like, okay, we need to look at the Morrowind clothing. And I'm so glad that I did. Like I've done it before. I've looked into all of that clothing before, like when I first played Morrowind for the first time. And I thought it was incredibly detailed, especially like when you've played enough of like the modern games and you know how lackluster they are in terms of like little details and like a lot of the things that like would be commonly overlooked. Like a lot of games are super empty nowadays, kind of like Starfield. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. But more when you go back to it, it's such an old game, but it's so detailed, like so much work, so much attention to detail. Like you just gotta love and appreciate that. So I'm glad that we definitely did that deep dive, or I'm definitely glad we did that deep dive on the channel because it was a super fun video to do, to be honest. Which games have the best guild content? We're talking like Fighters Guild, Mages Guild. I mean, to be honest, because I haven't fully explored Morrowind's guild quests, to me, Oblivion's guild quests are top. Like, considering the fact that in Skyrim, they're not even really guilds, no? Like there's no fighters guild, there's no mages guild. Like you've got like somewhat equivalents. You've got the fighter, you've got the companions, and you've got the College of Winterhold, but it's really not the same. And like even just as quest lines, like if you don't label them anything, right? So if you don't call it the Mages Guild and like the College of Winterhold, if you just look at them like as quest lines, to be honest, like there's so much more to the Oblivion version of things than there is to the Skyrim one, which like this is such a common theme across all like discussions when it comes to like Oblivion versus Skyrim. You know, like Skyrim is a little bit lackluster, so but it's okay, we still love it. Like there's still a reason everybody likes it and plays it, you know? You said you had it in another channel, or did I mishear you? Yes, I do. So it's in Spanish. And it has like 500k subscribers, so that was kind of like where I started out. But to be honest, recently what I've been doing is just Twitch streaming in Spanish. Oblivion has the most heart. I agree. Oblivion has the most heart. I think that a lot of like soul was put into Oblivion, and like to this day it really shows. Again, more so when you start comparing it to the games that are coming out now. I'm kind of like afraid to get super hyped up and excited for future installments. Like we talk about Elder Scrolls 6 and I definitely want an Elder Scrolls 6 like in my lifetime, please. But also I'm trying not to like hype it up too much in my own mind, because when you look at like games now in general and you know all of this kind of paid content within games and skins and all of that, I can just imagine all of the many ways in which that can be done in a game like Elder Scrolls 6. Like I wouldn't really want to see that, but you know what I mean? So I am scared to get too hyped about it. And I've dropped something. It's kind of like GTA 6, right? So everybody's talking about GTA 6. The trailer came out. It's crazy. I'm almost afraid that people are like overhyping it. And then if it doesn't live up to those expectations, what do you do then? Like, it's going to be like even more disappointing, you know? Which is why it was always like, I think this is like a common thing to say, but I think that the Elder Scrolls, you know, the Elder Scrolls 6 teaser coming out so early before they even really had plans to start production was a mistake, because like it's gonna get hyped up over all of these years, and then it comes out and you know we've all like made up our minds and we all have all these ideas, and there's so much content already about Elder Scrolls 6, like what I want the game to be like, what I want to see in Elder Scrolls 6, what I expect from Elder Scrolls 6. But imagine now, like after all this hype, after all of this like building up, um you know, you get to it and it's just not what people imagined. Like it just doesn't fit anything that you thought it would, you know. I feel like it would almost be like, you know, the higher you get, the harder you fall, that kind of thing. I feel like it will be a lot worse, which is why like, you know, the whole like GTA 6 thing. I like GTA. You know, I've GTA San Andreas was actually one of my childhood games, which I don't know how good or bad that is, but like, you know, GTA 6, I'm trying to like not even think about it. Like, yeah, I saw the trailer. It was great. I thought it was really cool. But I'm not gonna think about it too hard. I'm not gonna like think like, oh, you know, this is gonna be great. They're gonna have all this, because to be honest with you, you know, what if it's not all that, and then I'll just be super disappointed. So I'll just let it come out, have absolutely no expectations, and let it do its thing. You know, to like try not get disappointed. What is your favorite winter outerwear for men? What do you mean, like in Elder Scrolls? And thank you for the $2, by the way. Crazy. Thank you so much. I don't know, man. Or do you mean like in real life? I don't know. I guess like a jacket is cool. Like what are we talking? Are we talking like a specific climate? I kind of need a little bit more detail here, you know, if you want like a coherent answer. Can you make a Mexican accent? When I speak Spanish, I'm told that I have like more of a Latin accent rather than a Spanish accent, pero dejaré que la gente que hable español en el chat me diga cuál es el acento que tengo, porque yo realmente nunca podré decírselo, no lo sé bien. A mí mi propio acento me confunde y de hecho, cambia tanto que la verdad es que no sabría decirles cuál es el acento que tengo. Pero bueno, if The Elder Scrolls 6 gets released this decade, even gets released this decade, yeah, I know, like if it does, but we kind of have to be careful with what we wish for as well with that, you know? Parece español. ¿En serio? It sounds pretty good Spanish accent. You could pass for a native speaker. Thank you. um, I think I'm in the wrong stream. Are you in the wrong stream? That's all right. This is an easily fixable issue. It's possible to leave. You're not trapped in here or anything. This isn't like, a quest that you've started that you can't go back from. You know, like when you went into like the painting quest in Oblivion and then like you can't go back until you've done the full quest. Like this isn't that sort of a situation. It's very easy to leave. So don't worry about it, dude, Have you played the Pillars of Eternity? No, I have not. Definitivamente tiene el flow Latinoamérica, pero yo pensé acento andaluz al inicio. ¿Ves? Es que nadie lo puede decir, nadie lo sabe, yo tampoco lo sé. Antes yo tenía un acento re fuerte ruso, pero me lo he quitado. Entonces mejor. Opinions on fashion in Elden Ring, Souls, Bloodborne. I'd love to explore that a lot more. Like Elden Ring is the one that I've played the most out of all of like the Souls type games. And I definitely love the aesthetics in those games, but I do need to kind of get into it a bit more in order to be able to like talk to you more about it. Like playing those games, to be honest with you, I focused a lot less on the fashion and a lot more on like everything is just a sign of your impending doom. Like those games are so freaking difficult. Hola Angelica, ¿cómo estás? Yo estoy súper bien. ¿Cómo estás tú? Are you looking forward to Sky Oblivion? I am. This is a project that I followed for years, so it is a very, very exciting one to look into. And yeah, a lot of expectations, a lot of hopes for that. Do you have a favorite NPC? In which game specifically? Because in Oblivion, I think literally my favorite NPC, and I don't know why I like this NPC so much. He literally does nothing, but his name is Gaston Surreal. Surreali, or however you pronounce his surname. And he's one of the Surreali brothers that make the wine. I don't know, he just seems really chill. I just like him. He's like not involved in any drama, not involved in any beef. He just lives and he just like, makes the wine. Like, it's great. I love Elder Scrolls fashion, me too. I think it's great. ¿Dónde compraste el amuleto? So this is from, well, Bethesda released these last year. So this is official Bethesda merch. I mean, seeing Bethesda merch released in 2023, like that was super unexpected. And I think it kind of fed into the rumors of like a potential remaster of Oblivion. City Swimmer. You like City Swimmer? City Swimmer is great. When I was making one of my last videos, I believe it was the Oblivion Crests one, I saw City Swimmer get chased by like the guards for no reason. I was just like filming like a part of the city just for the footage, and then City Swimmer is just running around and she's got like 2 guards chasing her. So yeah, she's in a lot of beef. If they remastered Oblivion, I would cry from happiness. You know what? I think this is an interesting topic to talk about because, I mean, I think an Oblivion remaster would be exciting just from the point of view that, like, this game that we like so much is getting this attention now. But I'd also be a bit nervous about something like that because a remaster doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be good, right? So you'd have to kind of wait and see what it would be like. Because, for example, Demon Souls, right? Was it a remake or a remaster? Just hold on. Demon Souls. Yeah, Demon Souls remake, right? So Demon Souls did get a remake, and now I'm not a huge like Souls fan myself. It's not something that I've played a lot, but my brother is. My brother is huge into the Souls series. He loves all of those games. Like he's played them, I don't know, since he was like 9. He absolutely loves those games, and the game Demon Souls was remade, but there were so many things about it that was just not right. Like that it just didn't fit with how the original game was. And I think that for some things, it might even just be better to leave it as it is, because will they be able to capture that same essence that they did with the original game? Like, we don't know that, And then again, it's like disappointment, And you kind of feel like, oh, they've gone and like ruined my favorite game by trying to like force this remaster or this remake, you have to be like really mindful of that when that kind of thing comes out, because like Oblivion is great. It's a fantastic game, but going into a remake or a remaster, that is different territory. That's something that also has to be done well. And it might not be. Like in Demon Souls, for example, even the music was different in some places. And like, again, I haven't played, but I watched a video comparison. And to be honest with you, like they did take out a lot of what made up the original essence of the original Demon Souls, which, like it's disappointing for fans, especially like, oh, after all these years, Demon Souls gets attention with like a bad remake, you know? Or like a remake that's not liked by the community. Maybe new players will play it. People that haven't played it before will get into it. It was for PS5, the remake. So like this generation of players that maybe haven't even heard of the game play it, they won't know the difference. They won't see like what was so wrong with it. But with something like Oblivion, like all of us have played it, we all know what it looks like, we all know what we kind of like would expect from it, and seeing it remade or remastered and being disappointing, that would be crazy, you know? Warcraft 3 is a good example too. Exactly, exactly. I'll be honest with you, I'm a huge Warcraft fan. Like, I love Warcraft, Warcraft 3 in particular. That was like my introduction to the Warcraft universe, and thereafter I played a lot of World of Warcraft. Like, I've been playing World of Warcraft since I was like 6. So that is definitely one of my favorite games, one of my favorite game universes. And the Warcraft 3 Reforged was a mistake. It shouldn't have happened. It feels like it was just like a cash grab because you know people are going to be into that. You know people are going to pay for it and they're going to want to play it. But it's not the same. It's not what you were looking for. It's not what you expected, you know? And that's really disappointing. Like if something's already done well, don't touch it, you know? I can think of like the other example, right, is Diablo 2. So I love Diablo in general, like the whole universe, all of the lore. I love Diablo, but Diablo 2 is one of my favorite games like of all time ever. And they did like the resurrected Diablo 2 resurrected, and it was good. Like I played it, it looks good, it's great, but some of the original essence is definitely lost when you do a remake like this. Like it's nothing you can do about it. It's just what it is. Like, turning a game like Diablo 2 in something that like would come out in 2020, 2021, I believe the year was. um it's it's great, but again, it's not the best, you know. Oh, Роман с камнем, большое спасибо. 12 евро, вау. Спасибо. Добро пожаловать на мой стрим. With Diablo 2, right? So as I was saying, you know how when you played it, like the kind of graphics that it has, it's a very dark game, like a very, very dark game, very creepy. And I think that the fact that the graphics are the way that they are, it also like adds to that like really dark, really scary atmosphere because you can't really see like the mobs very well. You can't see the monsters very well, you know? They're kind of like a lot of it is left up to your imagination. It's kind of like reading a book and then you watch the TV series and like the characters are not like how you imagine them. So, you take Diablo 2 with the graphics that it had, and then you leave like a lot of it up to your own imagination and you make it almost scarier in your mind. Like, Mephisto, he's very hard to like see what he's like in like the original Diablo 2. But then like in Diablo 2 Resurrected, like he's so detailed that like he's not even as scary to me. Like I think that in my mind from playing Diablo 2, like the original, what it looked like, it was just a lot more, it was a lot creepier, it was a lot scarier, you know? Ты откуда? Я русская, живу в Ирландии. А ты откуда? 100% down for it, but not sure where to look. What do you mean? It's so nice to see someone passionate about all kinds of lore. Glad I found your channel recently. Yeah, you're very welcome. It's very nice to meet y'all. Do you stream as a full-time job? I do now. I do now. Cooking elves while smoking void salts in Elder Scrolls 6 would be cool. That's like a very like specific thing. You've thought about this a lot. When filming Oblivion for videos, do you use any mods? Is all that footage from vanilla? It is all vanilla footage. I don't use any mods. Lol, я живу в Дублине. Ah, классно. Do you dig Half-Life lore? Half-Life is great. Half-Life is great. Half-Life is also like one of my, we'll say, childhood games. It's like one of those games that I played so many years ago. How many languages do you speak? I speak 3 languages. I speak Russian, English, and Spanish. Only the finest quality product. I will even throw in a vulnerable elixir potion for free. Oh, wow. Thank you. Hi, do you like other RPGs or just the Elder Scrolls? Yeah, so like I was saying, like I'm a huge fan of the Warcraft universe in particular. Diablo is great. But how old are you? I'm 23. Madre mía, que no me esperabas aquí. Pues mira. ¿Hablas español? Sí, hablo español. ¿Cómo se me nota, no? Okay, o será que me conoces ya y por eso lo sabes. Half-Life 1 got a nice update recently from Valve. We also got Black Mesa. I've seen that. I do want to give it a go as well. Empire or Stormcloaks? You guys are gonna hate me for this, but Stormcloaks. I just decided that when I was like 11 when I played it, and like that's always been the case. But yeah, Stormcloaks for sure. Let's go. Oh, this is going to be controversial. This is like the first controversy of this channel. We've already started it. Like, I mean, I just want to say also a huge thank you to everybody that has shown up and that has come here and has supported the channel. We've really seen like crazy growth in like such a small amount of time. To me, it was insane, but this is a channel and like this is a project that I'm specifically passionate about. So thank you all very much. And yeah, so just as fast as we are moving, you know, kind of growing and everything's going great, we do need to have a little bit of controversy. So let's start with the Stormcloak thing. Yeah, you know what? I am a diehard Stormcloak, and I'm not ashamed of it. What you guys that back up the Empire? You guys have some sort of like a Stockholm syndrome. They tried to behead you. Is this not like? Were we not in the same carriage? Like, what's going on here? You know, did somebody not get the memo? Do you sing? I do sing. Yes. How did you know? Are you saying that Skyrim belongs to the Nords? I am indeed. I believe. What is your favorite Skyrim mods? All right, so here's the thing about me and mods. I appreciate the modding community a lot because I do think that it is a huge part of what has kept these games going for such a long time, especially Skyrim. But I don't mod my games. And why don't I mod my games? Well, because I don't know, I just really like vanilla games. I just really like them in the state that they were meant to be in, like from the beginning, you know, completely created by the developers. Like, and I'm not saying mods that, like, you know, for example, I don't know if you would like refer to them as mods, but in Morrowind, I do have like the graphic extenders and things that make it look better. Like, I have something there to extend like the view distance, for example, like quality of life updates. We'll say for like a game for like Morrowind, you know, it's necessary to have that because Morrowind, it is dated. So, you know, to be able to kind of go through it now, like it's I feel it is a bit necessary to have that sort of thing. But when it comes to Skyrim, like I see a lot of people using like mods to make the faces look prettier, you know, and the people look like they're actually perfect, like they're like K-pop stars, all of them. I mean, I couldn't have that. I don't know. I just like their faces are not great in any of the games, but I like them the way that they are, you know? And for me it would just feel weird to like have a mod that like completely changes the look of all of them, you know? I think I've never played vanilla Skyrim. I modded it from day one. And like I feel like there's probably two extremes, right? So there's people that mod it like you from day one, and then there's people that play it vanilla like I do, you know? Амулет королей просто прекрасный. Спасибо. Да, мне он тоже очень нравится. Я его очень долго ждала. Я его заказала, по-моему, не знаю, в августе, а пришел мне он в ноябре. В ноябре или да, в ноябре. То есть я очень-очень долго ждала. Agree with Skyrim modding. Favorite Warcraft 3 race? To play orcs. Back when I modded Skyrim to make it run on my poor PC. Like, I don't know, I don't mod my games. I like them in their vanilla state. I think that I'm like this is something that you guys will learn about me pretty quickly, but I like vanilla versions of everything, just how it was in the beginning. So, for example, World of Warcraft, I only play classic. I only play classic. I cannot like the last expansion that I played was Legion. And since Legion, I haven't been able to get back into it. And it's not that Legion was a bad expansion. It was all right, like, but I don't know, I just like slowly started losing interest. When it came to Legion, it was also like I was in my exam year for my leaving cert, so I didn't have like a whole lot of time to dedicate to Legion, and so I kind of left it. And then, you know, when you fall behind and then another expansion comes out pretty quick, like you lose, you know, you lose your place there, and so you don't really want to go back. And then when I looked at it again just to see what it looks like to like consider going back, it just didn't look like the kind of game that I'd want to play, you know? And then classic, you know? I played on private servers for a while. Elysium and Lights Hope Chapel, because there was a bit of controversy and beef there where the servers broke up, so I played on a different one. But then the Classic in 2019 came out, and so ever since, like, that's all I've played. Are they saying that Legion was the last good expansion? Oh, and they are saying that Legion was the last good expansion. To be honest with you, I'm not sure because I can't speak to the other expansions. I haven't played them, but I did hear that Shadowlands was actually not bad. So my brother has a friend that got into World of Warcraft during Shadowlands, and he was like pretty happy with it. And a lot of people were saying that it wasn't a bad expansion. The Imperial Guard is here. Hi, Stefano, ¿cómo estás? Well, I was like being on a treadmill with all other players. The fastest people set the pace, and it's super exhausting to keep up. I think that World of Warcraft right now, especially like when all of these new things come out, like, you know, Season of Discovery and all that, I do feel like it's a game very much focused on streaming and streamers, right? Because who are the people that can spend all day playing the game and like getting there first? It is streamers. It's people that do live streaming for a living. You know, it's not somebody that like works a full-time job and then comes home and then like, you know, you've got a couple of hours before you go to bed and you just want to get into WoW. No, like you have to be grinding like for hours and hours. So I do think that now, and not just WoW, like all games are doing this now. They require all of your time. That's the problem. And like World of Warcraft always did. It always did require all of your time. But I feel like now with like the seasonal changes and all of that, it's a lot, there's a lot more pressure there to like, you know, get to end game before everyone else does than there was before. Shadowlands was pretty bad. Like again, I really cannot speak to that myself. This is just what I've heard, but I haven't played, so I don't know. Are you playing Pal World? To be honest with you, like I looked at it and I don't like the look of it. Like it doesn't look like the kind of game that I would like play and enjoy. You know, like you could get into it like, oh, just like jump on the trend, but I'm not really into like just jumping on a trend to jump on a trend, you know what I mean? Like if I'm going to play something or talk about something, it's going to be about something that I enjoy, something that I really like. Like I'm not just going to, you know, get into it because it's like the thing right now. To be honest with you, it just doesn't look that interesting to me. Maybe it's good, but like I don't know. I don't think I could get into it, to be honest. Modern gaming has become another chore. That's why I play Skyrim and OG Xbox. Yeah, that's like the sentiment for a lot of people nowadays with games. Have you ever tried to learn Irish? Ismisha Angelica, Tome Mahoney in Naren, August Vime Egg. I forget the verb for learning. Gaelga skull. I did look. I know it might not sound like it, but I took high level Irish. I took high level Irish. Ag Folum, Grandma Huggeth. I took high level Irish for my leaving cert. So yeah, there you go. So in total, like if you count English, right? I took English, Irish, Russian, and Spanish for my leaving cert. You know, if you look at it that way. Damn, how many languages do you speak? Like, I don't really speak Irish. Like, I remember stuff from it. I can read in Irish because I learned. I've been in school in Ireland since 8 or 7 years old, so I had to learn Irish. And I can read it, whatever. But I honestly, I'm not the best at it. Like, since I've stopped practicing it, like after leaving school, it's gotten like worse. It's like gone downhill from there. Daggerfall clothing review. Daggerfall is a very interesting one to get into, especially right now because of the Unity version. So I kind of really want to get into that. I want to explore that a lot. I think that that would be really fun. Like that said, I have played Daggerfall before for a very, very short amount of time. It wasn't the Unity version, so it was very, very hard to play. I found it very clunky, and I found that it just like didn't run well. But I'd love to like try it again because I think it would be super fun. I recently watched a retrospective of Daggerfall. It was like a 4-hour video. I cannot remember the channel, but if you look up like Daggerfall retrospective and it's a 4-hour video, that's likely the one that I watched. It was very good. Like it gets into like all of the little details, and it looks like the kind of game that like maybe, you know, you wouldn't sit there like playing it all day all the time, but it's definitely an interesting one to explore, especially if you're a fan of the series. The new controls are much better with the update. Yeah, that's what they're saying. So because of Unity, I think I might actually get into it. Nice. Most people who aren't born here just take the exemption from Irish. My brother was exempt, but I just took it. I think like when we came here, I was very young, and I don't think we really knew exemptions were a thing. I remember going to school, and I actually couldn't even spell my own name when I went to school. So I didn't start from junior or senior infants. I started from first class. And like, I mean, at the time, I was literally speaking Russian to my teachers who didn't understand me because I didn't really know anything else. So as I was learning English, I was also learning Irish at the same time, which did make things a little bit complicated. But they didn't mind. And to be honest, like they probably should have said something, and I probably should have been sent away. But no, I was learning it at the same time with everybody else, which I don't really remember how that worked. But yeah, I did it for my leaving cert. I have a question. Go ahead. Stop, you broke the law. That's not what they say. Did you become Duchess of Mania or Dementia? I've tried both. I love those long analysis videos for this but Patrici sorry. Patrician has 20 hours long Skyrim video split into two. Yeah, I love the longer the Elder Scrolls video, the better it is for me. What I do is I like to just like do literally anything and like listen to it as a podcast. Like I've probably like watched every channel's every video on and everything Elder Scrolls based because yeah, it's great. Pat's Elder Scrolls videos are great. I probably have seen that channel. I just don't remember the name. Patrician TV mentioned. It does sound familiar. Yeah, I think that might be I've definitely seen something from that. Do you watch Fudge Muppet? I do. I do. I really, really enjoy their videos. I do also watch Drew Mora since they split and he went to have his own channel. I really like his videos a lot. Do you play ESO? I actually don't. I have tried ESO, and to be honest with you, I couldn't commit to it because like I've already had one MMO that I was super committed to, World of Warcraft. So I never ever went and got into that. Fudge Muppet is the worthy one. I like both channels. I think both channels are great. His quick Oblivion retrospective was a meme for a while because right, that's him. He did the quick. Yeah. That's it. That's why it was familiar. I'm pretty bad with the channel names, by the way. I'm sorry if like I like don't recognize or remember somebody. Hi, by the way, to all of the channels that have stopped by on my channel. It's just that I'm very bad with the channel names, but I've definitely like seen your videos or your content. It's actually crazy. Like I've overlapped with so many people now that it's very interesting. Hello from Australia. Wow, what time is it in Australia? Here in Ireland, it is 10:47 p.m. Tangent, have you done this sort of thing before? You're very good at streaming stuff for a beginner. Right. So yeah, again, for those of you who don't know, I do stream and I have done streams and I've done YouTube in Spanish. So this is my first time doing this sort of thing in English. Oh, Athena, muchas gracias. You see, this is like a terrible habit. Thank you so much for the $2 Canadian. Do you have a favorite pair of Elder Scrolls boots? I love the white mage's shoes, to be honest with you. I think the white mage's shoes are sick from Oblivion. They're great. But also, what was that vampire? Jack. What was his like exact name from that one quest line? Can you say something in Spanish? I watch you from Chile. Hola, muchísimas gracias por la donación, lo aprecio un montón. Y sí, claro que a ver, te puedo hablar en español, pero luego puedes venir a mi Twitch y ahí también te hablaré en español. By the way, after this stream, I'll be going on to my Spanish Twitch channel. So if anybody here speaks Spanish, you are more than welcome to join. I will drop the link here. So if anybody does speak Spanish, that would be the channel to go to. Springheel Jack, thank you. Yeah, Springheel Jack. They're pretty cool. Damn, Spanish is fast. А русский еще быстрее. I'm not good with Latin-based languages. Where are you from? Voltieri drip. Yeah, the Voltieri drip, sick. Qué genial, ahí estaré. Pues súper bienvenido. Hello from Germany. Guten Tag. Komm dancen. Ich will nicht. See, I can speak a bit of German too. Is Ashes of Creation on your radar? Alpha goes live this year. Thank you so much for the donation, Johnny. Yeah, why not? I mean, now that we're kind of here, we can go into all of that, exploring anything that comes out, anything that you guys are interested in, again, to expand from Elder Scrolls, because I really like Elder Scrolls. I love it. But also I like a lot of other games and a lot of other RPGs. And I don't just want to like go create like individual channels to talk about like all of the individual things that I like. So this will definitely be the space to like do that, Hola desde Argentina. Hola, hola. ¿Cómo estás? Desde Irlanda. Hello from Brazil. Boa noite. Boa noite. Oblivion's biggest sin is not having any hats. All I want is a fancy hat, goddammit. Yeah, that is a sin. I mean, the Colovian for helm, How many languages do you speak? I speak 3 languages fluently. Romani fan here from UK. You're very welcome. How are you? ¿Te gusta Dark Souls? Puedes responder en inglés. Like, okay, with Dark Souls, it's definitely something that I have to, again, explore a lot more. I haven't played them a whole lot. The game that I've played, like, this, I guess it is a Souls-like game, that I've played the most was Elden Ring, right? The other games, I've tried them, but I've never, like, properly played them, if that makes sense. They are very hard. Aliens or Dwemer? I think both of them have pretty cool backstories. I mean, the Dwemer disappearance is one of the coolest mysteries in like the whole universe. I think I love like all of the stories around that. I love how like the snow elves came to the Dwemer, like all of the story there. It is very interesting. But the aliens then also have a very interesting story because they were like these really cruel elven masters. That like they're portrayed as like kind of like being these like very beautiful looking elves, but like really they were super cruel and super horrible. So I kind of like both of the stories there, even if they're both bad. Are you going to stay just in Oblivion or Sky Oblivion? I mean, all of it, and especially when Sky Oblivion comes out, like that will definitely be something to talk about here because I imagine that this is something that all of you have been looking forward to and waiting for. Moriría si también te gustan los juegos viejos como Angband y Dwarf Fortress. La verdad es que no me suenan, pero hablando de juegos viejos, viejos, yo por ejemplo jugaba Quake, ¿sabes? Ese sí me gusta. That boa noite was perfect. You can speak in Portuguese too. Well, the greetings at least. Like Portuguese, I can more or less understand. I really love Brazilian telenovelas. I think I was raised on them as well, so like they're great. And yeah, Portuguese is something that like I've kind of gone back and forth learning, and I love it. But I'm still like the hardest thing for me in Portuguese is the accent. you know. What's your primary language? Russian. Hey, thank you so much for the donation, TJ. Recently stumbled across your channel and I absolutely love your videos. I'm with you on the Stormcloaks, by the way. I mean, the solidarity here is fantastic. I thought that would be a lot more controversial when I said it. So I am glad that we have a lot of like-minded people here. It's great to see you all. And I mean, if you're for the Empire, you suck. I'm sorry. No, you don't. But I mean, why? you know? Your Spanish is awesome. Thank you so much. Juan, yo tengo un canal en Twitch al cual voy después de este stream, así que más que bienvenido estarás ahí si quieres venir. What the rebels like to forget is that the Empire is the only thing keeping the Thalmor out of Skyrim. Are we gonna get into all this? Is this what we're doing? Are we getting into it, guys? Are we? What countries have you been to? I've been to... Okay, well, just a couple months ago, I went to Japan. And last year, I visited 2 new countries. I visited Canada and I visited Japan, but also been to Spain. I've been to the UK, Latvia, obviously Ireland, and yeah, Japan, amazing country, beautiful. I loved it. I was there for 3 weeks and I loved it. It was great. Canada, I was there for a very short amount of time. It was for a work trip in my old job, and yeah, I liked Canada a lot. It was beautiful. I went to Banff, which like crazy place. I went there when it was all like covered in snow, super beautiful. The Empire is literally allowing the Empire free reign in Skyrim. I would love to drop everything and go live with the Skull on Solstheim and go live with the Skull on Solstheim. Yeah, that sounds pretty chill, to be honest with you. I wouldn't mind. I speak Spanish and English. Espero tener la oportunidad de estudiar de intercambio en Europa este año para poner a prueba mi lenguaje. Será posible, depende de qué país eres, pero hay oportunidades. Dunmer and was. Oh. Shout out to Latvia, my man. Oh, you've been to Latvia? Greetings from Perukistan. Greetings, Jose. Francisco, ¿cómo estás? Have you seen Jehana in Beyond Skyrim, Iliac Bay? It's like the most beautiful city on Tamriel. No, I haven't. I definitely need to take a look at it. There's a lot of these kind of projects and things to look into with that, but like I mostly focus on like the actual games and that. What I will go into a lot will probably be like Sky Oblivion. I'm also excited for Skywind. I think that one, it's not talked about as much as Sky Oblivion, but it surely will be amazing. Okay, so Dagoth Wave or Sheogorath Zoom? I think Dagoth Wave. I have to go with Dagoth Wave. You know what I'm obsessed with? This is okay. There's a couple of things in like the Elder Scrolls meme world that I'm absolutely obsessed with. So first of all, those like based Dagoth takes, like when they would just like do the AI voice with Dagoth and he would just like drop an absolutely based take on like anything. I think like one of my favorite videos of Dagoth was him talking about like fast food or like a terrible experience he had at McDonald's or whatever, or Burger King. I don't know. I don't even remember exactly what the video was about, but I remember loving that. And then the other thing that like recently has been like an unhealthy obsession of mine are the Skooma Cat memes, particularly the ones that have like the Peaceful Waters remix in the back. God, they're amazing. I love that those are still coming out and they're newly generated memes. They're great. Bloodborne is peak. Bloodborne compared to the other Souls games, you think it is better? Souls-style games. Did you ever try More Oblivion? More Oblivion is something that I do want to try. I looked at one video talking about More Oblivion, and honestly, it looks like it should be illegal. Like, it honestly looks like the weirdest, like, I don't know, like, uncanny valley thing for me. It's crazy. Where are you from? I'm Russian, but I live in Ireland. Esto es importante. En Tom y Jerry, ¿tú qué deseabas? ¿Que Jerry escapara o que Tom lo atrapara? Yo quería que sean amigos. Yo soy pacífica. Apoyo a la paz. Your favorite piece of jewelry in the Elder Scrolls franchise? Definitely Arnora's false amulet, the blue one. Love it. I think it's the greatest, and it's like not one you have to kind of go out of your way to see it and get to it. But yeah, I love it. Teddy, thank you so much for the donation. How did you kill that elf fool, Mankar Cameron? What, like the first time or the second time? Several different ways. How did you kill him? What is your preferred weapon of choice when killing Mankar Cameron? Do we have to have just one? Angelica, a pacifist, lies. Shh. Shh. They don't know. Okay. Do you prefer vanilla Oblivion or modded? Vanilla. Like, I'm all vanilla for these things. I don't mod my games. Like, the only thing that I've done, and like, I appreciate mods, don't get me wrong. This isn't like a hate on mods. I hate all mods. No, I think mods are great. I think like it's good to have that. I love that there is like that, people from the community are so interested in the games that they do like extra work towards something that they like so much. I think it's great. I love it. I appreciate it. But I don't get them myself because I just prefer playing vanilla versions of the game. I'm here for the Bethesda bashing. We got a whole lot of that going on. Have you ever done RP Khajiit Fists only run in any Elder Scrolls games? So what I like to do in Skyrim is with the Khajiit, when you go down to the Ratway, what's that guy's name that's got the gloves? If you get that, that's what I like. Vanilla or Vanilla Plus are the best mods, purist gang. Yeah. That's it. Gian the Fist. Thank you. That guy. I always forget his name. Horse armor? Oh god. I thought the controversial takes were over, but here we are again. The Bethesda bashing has begun. Mods add a lot of life to the Bethesda games, in my opinion. And like, I agree, like, because, especially Skyrim. I think Skyrim is the game that probably is most in need of mods. I agree with that, but at the same time, like, in whatever form that the games are already in, I just prefer them in that way. When I look at like mods and modded versions of the game, like for me, it always felt like, something's a little bit off. Like it's not exactly how the game was intended. And I don't know, I get like a mental block with it. And it's weird. It's like a stupid thing. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but yeah, it's just how I prefer it. Come on, Elven horse armor was cool. We need even more horse armors. I mean, okay, aesthetically, right? This is controversial. Aesthetically, it wasn't like the worst thing in the world, but also it wasn't that great either, You're gonna have to hold firm to that no modding stance since we're going to ceaselessly bother you about it. Well, I will indeed hold firm. I have held firm all of these years. The first time I played Oblivion, like my first Elder Scrolls game was Oblivion, okay? And I played it on the PlayStation 3. This was in 2009, I believe. I think. Yeah, I think it was 2009. And I played it then. In 2011, later on, we got Skyrim. Also played that on the PS3. Played it in its vanilla version. I think because of the nostalgia, because of the way that I remember it, I don't want to get any mods because I just like it that way. Again, I'm somebody who plays vanilla World of Warcraft, so possibly I'm a person that doesn't adapt very well to change. Even if it makes the game like look better, I just like it in its original form. No mod plebeian. Super proud of it, by the way. Yeah, messes up the atmosphere of the game. Yeah, I totally agree. I think it definitely messes up the atmosphere of the game for me. But at the same time, no hate to mods, because again, I'm glad that they exist. I'm glad it's a thing because it's one of those things that keeps the community strong. And also, it's just cool to see people that like the games put in work to something that they like that. Would you do any of the Beyond Skyrim stuff? Yeah, I could, absolutely. I do have quite a few ideas for future videos that are yet to come out on the channel. So I do kind of want to get through a few of those first before we get into any of the like other stuff. But also at the same time, I like um I like your suggestions. Like the Morrowind clothing video, it's one that I had planned, but not to do it so soon like I've done it. But because of the amount of you that was asking for it, um I thought like, okay, it would definitely be great to do it like straight away. So I did, and I definitely take like the comments and your suggestions a lot into account. I like mods. I always disable the mods that give you the weird starting advantages though. Yeah, yeah, like those are kind of strange. I never liked those either. Um we're going back to vanilla now since the updates are screwing over the modding scene. With like the latest release that you're meant to pay for, right? Did you ever get into Warhammer Fantasy? Warhammer, no. Specifically Warhammer, no. I don't remember if I ever tried. I think I may have tried, but like that was ages ago. A game that I really like that maybe like the Russian people in the chat will know is Heroes of Might and Magic. So those are like Heroes of Might and Magic 5 specifically is an amazing game. It's one of my favorites. I was very very young when I played it, and I feel like to this day it actually holds up pretty well as a game. But one thing that's very hard to get over with Heroes of Might and Magic is that like originally I played it in Russian, so like all of the cutscenes and all of the dialogue is like in Russian, right? And like it didn't sound silly. I played through the whole game again with like all the DLCs and everything in English, and I couldn't believe how silly the dialogue sounded. Like it just didn't sound like anything that would like even a lot of it didn't sound like it fit into like the fantasy kind of world. Like I guess maybe it's meant to be a bit silly, but I don't remember it being like that unhinged in Russian. So yeah, that was like a weird thing. But like other than that, I think it's held up pretty well over the years. I think that Hero 6 was not well received. I believe, I don't know, like I've seen like kind of mixed reviews about it, but I never played it then. Heroes 2 is the GOAT. Hell yeah, brother. I hear that Russians are trained from infancy to play heroes at a competitive level. Yes, that is exactly correct. Since birth. Since birth, I swear. I do think Heroes of Might and Magic 5 was a bit more lighthearted than some of the others. Possibly because of like, yeah, that could also be like the general thing, but also I feel that like the translations in English were maybe not the best, you know? Teddy, thank you so much for the donation. Did Starfield increase Elder Scrolls 6 hype or decrease it? That's a very interesting question. I think it did a little bit of both, but it also made a lot of us come to like the unfortunate realization that it's very, very possible that Elder Scrolls 6 is not going to be what we want it to be. And, after all this time and after all this hype, that's a disappointing conclusion to come to. But the best thing we can do is just wait. Don't generate hype. Don't feed into the hype. Like, you can view like the content around it, like what people think it's going to be like, especially people that like have played all of the games and know a lot about the universe. But don't think about it too much. Just kind of let it happen, let it come out, and then see if this is like don't have expectations, because you're always going to be disappointed if you come in with high expectations. Greetings with a lot of love from the Netherlands. Came across your second video and was hooked immediately. I'm really curious to see your progression online. Can I have a shout out? Thank you, Bolt Cadaver, for the sweet message. You're very welcome to the channel. Bethesda's getting sus. I'm not buying it before reading the reviews. I'm just gonna buy it anyway. I kind of want to come like with Elder Scrolls 6. I want to come to my own conclusion. I don't want to look at reviews. I don't want to see what anybody else says. I want to play it myself, because I like those games so much that I just want to give it an honest chance. I don't want to be in any way influenced by anything that's said by anyone else. I just want to do it myself. I just want to sit down and get into it and not worry too much about like what it's going to be like or what it's not going to be like. Just chill, play through it myself. They have a habit of simplifying the content for later entries. They do, and we definitely see that, especially when like the kind of videos that I'm doing with like getting into specifically world building and small details. Like you see how much is diminished in the later games. And like I know I hate on Skyrim a lot in my videos. I don't hate Skyrim. I love Skyrim. It's one of my favorite games as well. But I do recognize that it is a lot like it's a lot more diminished and simplified than its predecessors. Good night from Russia. Привет, привет, добрый вечер. Oh, Frosty, thank you so much for the donation. Could you do a clothing video in the Warcraft franchise? My favorite clothing is Kael'thar's cape and armor. What about you? My favorite clothing. All right, let me think about it real quick. I mean, when I talk about clothing, right, I do mean like something that doesn't offer like any stats, right? So if I'm thinking about something that doesn't offer stats, I liked in World of Warcraft the shirt slot. Now I know shirts couldn't really ever have stats, but you know, like the swashbuckler shirts, the black was it elegant shirt, like the black one with like the details in the middle. I love them. The mage weave shirts as well. I kind of liked, especially like when you have a mage character that's a tailor and you're kind of going through the progression of like making better and better shirts all the time. You start with the linen, you get into like the mage weave shirts. I love them. Um, I always, when I was younger, I had an obsession with the lovely like black, red, and purple dress. I think there was a blue one as well. The reason I was so obsessed with it was because at the time it was so unattainable to me. So you know, you go to the auction house and this shit is like, you know, 1,000 gold or more, especially because like I like the Europeans in the chat will know this. I played on Argent Dawn. I played on an RP server, right? And Argent Dawn, I know it's notorious for certain things, but whatever. I played on Argent Dawn. And I just remember on Argent Dawn specifically, anything that was like RP clothes, that was like just clothes with no stats, God, it was expensive. So yeah, it was super unattainable, but I was like very obsessed with it. And I remember like getting it for the first time and like always having it in my inventory wherever I went, just because I like loved it so much, you know? Current day Bethesda has been consistently good at one thing: dungeon crawling and exploration. The only reason the Elder Scrolls and FO games have been and Fallout games have been good lore wise, is because they've been pre-established lore. So do you think that the Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be bad because of that reason? What is your character name on Argent Dawn? I haven't. You see, the thing is with Argent Dawn, it is current WoW, so I haven't played in a very long time, and I wouldn't. I don't even remember what my character names were there. Like I haven't played it since Legion, you know. But like the last character that I had there was Legion, and I had like all my characters on Argent Dawn, like all of them. I like the most recent that I had created was a demon hunter, and I do not remember what they were called. Hi Kira, how are you? Welcome. What is your go-to race to play? So, Khajiit and Dunmer, both love them. But I also play Nord a lot, especially like I didn't play Nord a whole lot, to be honest, in Oblivion. In fact, I think the first time that I properly played a Nord was from Skyrim, and then like okay, going back to Oblivion, I played a Nord because I'd already played it in Skyrim. In Skyrim, I played Nord because I don't know, I thought it was like cool to kind of go with like my own headcanon that like Dragonborn is most likely a Nord, and so yeah, I thought that was fun. And then when I went back to Oblivion, like I noticed Nords a lot more. The thing is, like with the races of men in Oblivion, they're not too different. And like I kind of get into this in like my next video that's gonna come out soon. You'll guys see what I'm talking about then. But yeah, Argonians are the best. Argonians are cool. I've played Argonians as well, but like I think Khajiit is probably what I've played the most, like in all games. As a Stormcloak without being a Nord. Yes, Khajiit Stormcloak, of course. It's canon, all Khajiit are Stormcloaks. Who do you think is keeping them out of the cities? Who? I mean, I guess the Nords aren't particularly fond of anybody that isn't a Nord, but I like to think they like cats. Headcanon. I typically play whatever race is default. So in Oblivion, you'd be an Imperial? Is that what you mean? Ishnu? Ishnu dal Dieb. Do you like cats? I love cats. I don't have a cat, nor have I ever had a cat. It is quite obvious that I really, really like cats, dude. Like, I have a thing with cats, right? But no, I've never had a cat. I really want a cat, but the thing is, like, you know when you're renting a house, and you know you're probably gonna have to go and, like, rent a different house? If you have a pet, and particularly a cat, like, a lot of people are not very fond of cats, like, you're probably not gonna be able to rent a place, so, yeah, that's, like, one reason that I wouldn't really get one right now, but I do want a cat in the future. Hey, Joffrey, how are you? Favorite Elder Scrolls game? Oblivion. Oblivion for sure. Do you like Skyrim or Oblivion more? I like Oblivion more, but like when I say this, like again, I do not hate Skyrim. I think like I probably like hated on it too much in all of these videos, but no, I love Skyrim. I think it's great. I think like some of the best lore we get into it in Skyrim, you know, and it's fun. It's a great game. Skyrim was the gateway to the Elder Scrolls universe for so many people. I'm sure like some of those people are in this chat right now. So it's not a bad game. But when you compare it to its predecessors, like you do see the obvious issues. But then you've got the modding community, so they kind of fix all of that. Thank you very much. I really love the content. It's so different from many other creators in the community. So excited. I'm glad you're excited. I'm excited. I didn't think it would go so fast. I mean, like, I planned this channel for a while. I opened the channel itself in like by the end of November, somewhere like that. And then I posted my first like full video at the end of December. So that was like the soundtrack ranking. And from there, like I didn't have like a set plan. I just thought like, oh, I'll, upload videos as I go. And I did. And then like the very next video that I uploaded just happened to get into recommendations, which I mean, it was crazy. I think it's the Oblivion clothing video. I think right now it stands at like 140K views, which I mean, for a channel of like, I had 100 subscribers, right? I had less than 100 subscribers when I posted that video. It was, I mean, it was crazy. Even if I look at it now, like it was, I mean, I really appreciate all of the hype. Super unexpected, but very, very well received. It's nothing. It's not a bad thing. It's just like I think we do need a little bit of time to possibly establish ourselves a little bit more, get a little bit more comfortable, because honestly, I again didn't expect it to go so well so quick. And I have plans. I've had plans for this channel for a while. I have like videos that were planned for a while. I just need to like get through them, and like get into making them. I've recently actually had quite a radical drastic change in my life. So I lost my job last week. And so that has put me in a very weird position. It's like where I'm at in general, like in the world and in my life. So you know, all of the ideas and all the things that I have that I want to do, I guess that's what I'm going to be pushing right now in like the coming weeks and the coming months, and what you will see. So yeah, we'll we'll see how it goes. What a way to pivot off a situation like that. Yeah, it's I guess what else can you do, right? I just want to know what that accent is. I don't know. I think that's like a accent of like somebody who's foreign that learned English. You got cancelled. Yes, I got cancelled from my job. Yes. Lost your job. Welcome to the group. Yeah. Uh, I'm listening to Ariel's Ascension right now. Yeah, you know what? I wanted to put like music in the background of the stream, so like Oblivion music specifically. But the problem with it is it's very hard to put it in the background without like constantly having to adjust the volume, because it like has its quiet parts and then it has like very loud part and a very quiet part. So like if I put it in the background right now and I'll talk, like it'll just get to a part where you cannot hear my voice anymore, and so like I just didn't put it. Loris, thank you so much for the £2. I appreciate it a lot. I heard the Imperial Legion is looking for new recruits. No, thank you. No. Everything's gonna be okay. Thank you. Muchísimas gracias. You could try editing the audio to normalize the audio levels or something. I guess I'd have to like take the audio specifically, you know what I mean? Like separately, rather than just like putting it on by itself and like edit it to fit like with me speaking over it. But I haven't done that yet, so I haven't really put anything in the background. No, just make a playlist of the chill music. See, that's the thing with the chill music though. I find that it like fluctuates so much that it's very hard to just like put one on and have it in the background. I've tried this in my Spanish streams, but like we get to a point where like the music just gets loud, even if it's one of the chill tracks. Is Shadowmere best horse? Yes. Shadowmere is my favorite. Miras contenido en español de cualquier cosa en general. Sí, la verdad, o sea, yo miro cualquier cosa. No es que yo siga a algún creador en particular. Yo miro contenido de cosas que me gustan, cosas así específicas, ¿me entiendes? Best Daedric Prince. Oh God. I mean, Sheogorath. I think that's like a very go-to answer, but I love Sheogorath. I think he's great. For many reasons. But also, I guess I kind of like the troublemaker ones, like Sanguine. I do enjoy like the Sanguine lore and his background and like everything that's kind of insinuated with Sanguine. I think it's pretty interesting. It's kind of dark, but like in kind of like a cool way. Her scene as well, because I like werewolf lore. Sanguine stresses me out. Yeah, but like he's cool, he's pretty cool. Would you rather travel Tamriel over encumbered or with Delphine over encumbered? Thank you. ¿De dónde eres? Si hablas castellano. Yo soy rusa, vivo en Irlanda y hablo español solo porque sí. Porque me venga en gana. Y ya está. Hi there, love your content. You're so pretty. Oblivion is my favorite Elder Scrolls game. It's such a beautiful, colorful game. Thank you so much. And yes, Oblivion, goated, absolutely goated. Um, how have you played much ESO? Not much. Again, I couldn't commit to it because I was already in World of Warcraft, and it's very hard to commit to a different MMO when you're like very much into World of Warcraft. What's the second best franchise lore? Warcraft. I mean, Warcraft and Elder Scrolls lore, like to me, it's a pretty close tie. I just love both universes so much. Porque sí, pues por qué no? Who's your canon character in Oblivion? It's a Khajiit. A Khajiit dual wielding like rogue type character. That's what I like. Not even like, I mean, they do a lot of the time turn into like stealth archers, but I love dual wielding. I think dual wielding is one of the most fun playstyles. What city in Cyrodiil would you live in? Okay, Skingrad is great. I love Skingrad. I also like Anvil. Anvil gives me like Mediterranean vibes, like with the roofs and like the colors of the roofs and like the fact that it's, you know, by the sea. Imperial City would probably be pretty cool to live in if like the waterfront shack wasn't the only option that you had there. But like if you could get like a townhouse in like the Talos Plaza district or like the Elven Gardens district, that would be pretty sweet, but you can't. So Anvil, best city. Love Anvil. Yeah, Anvil's great. Alliance or Horde? Both. Like, I swear, both. I know this is like such a weak answer, but both. Because I just love both. I never like saw the whole thing of like, I'm just gonna stick to like this one faction. No, man. I'm gonna experience all of it. I'm gonna love all of it. Like, it's. I've always liked all races and all factions. Except for gnomes. Gnomes suck. Warcraft centrist, LMAO. Yeah. Player housing alternatives sounds like a modding thing. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I know what you're implying. Right, why ignore half the content on the way to 60? Exactly, like, because I like the universe and the lore so much. Like, I don't want to miss out, you know? Actually, my favorite, like, type of character to play in World of Warcraft is an undead male. Doesn't even matter what class, like, maybe Warlock, maybe Mage, but undead male. Like, I think they're the coolest looking characters, but also I like Night Elves. Like, Night Elves is something that I've played a lot. Night Elf Druid, Night Elf Hunter, human as well, human paladin, never gnomes, but yeah, you know. I don't think you're really missing out much if you don't play gnomes, by the way. Short kings, yeah, no, L, sorry. I'm actually very tall in real life as well, so I think that that could be like why I just can't do gnomes. I'm sorry. I don't want to live in a universe or like, you know, escape my reality by being short. I like being pretty tall. Gnomes are not lore friendly. Gnomes are just not friendly. Like full stop. Just like L. Would you live in the Shivering Isles? Look, the Shivering Isles looks great. I love the look of the Shivering Isles, but I don't know, man. I feel like I'd always be paranoid living there. Like always. And I don't know, I wouldn't want to like when I really think about it, I wouldn't want to be mania or dementia. I just wouldn't want to be there. Like it's cool to like pass by, but like nah. I'd rather live in Cyrodiil, you know. What's the deal with airplane food? Airplane food. When old WoW was unavailable, I convinced myself that the Forsaken were good guys, and then went back to Classic, and they're so evil. It's delightful. Angelika's a tall build, confirmed. Yeah. She doesn't even see the gnomes. Too tall and accidentally trod on them. Yeah. How tall is pretty tall? So I'm 6 foot. Do you play all the Elder Scrolls? I only play Skyrim and Morrowind, not Oblivion. I don't know why. Yeah. Well, all of them. Like you see, when you say all of them, you're excluding always Arena and Daggerfall. You know, so I can't say I play all of them. But yes, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim. Catch Me in Solitude. Is that like your go-to like city to live in if you could live in Skyrim? The quality / editing of the videos and the charm of it makes it so special and established. It's crazy to see how you're taking off because of it, and definitely not unexpected. Oh well, I'm really glad that you guys are liking it. Like yeah, like I really enjoy making these videos. They're really fun to make. I think for a long time I was like sitting and like consuming all of this Elder Scrolls content, and to be honest with you, I had like nobody to talk about it to. So I decided to just like start making videos to like talk to you guys about it, because I'm sure like I can get into pretty good discussions about it here. I'm 5'5" and I have an amulet of Mara. Does this look like an amulet of Mara to you, my friend? Is this what you're seeing right now? No? Well then, I'm sorry. If you've got an Amulet of Mara, then I'm Serana. Sorry. Um, oof. At 6 foot, a Stormcloak using Imperial 180. You're 180. Since you played WoW and plenty of Oblivion and Skyrim, have you tried Elder Scrolls Online? Yeah, again, not a whole lot because World of Warcraft couldn't commit to it. I'm very sorry. Like I think Elder Scrolls Online, just the kind of like the playstyle isn't something that like like fully appealed to me, but I do like the lore that was expanded on in the Elder Scrolls. Particularly, I think that they did a very good job of like expanding on Khajiit lore and like what the Khajiits are like and all that background. I like that. But in terms of like playing it, no. ¿Estás casada o me estoy confundiendo? No, estás en lo cierto. Sí estoy ya casada. Would you like to like IRL in the live IRL in the Hearthfire DLC? I mean, you know what? I like the Hearthfire DLC. I like the houses, but when you've played it as many times as I've played it, you do realize that like all the houses, like they pretty much look the same and they end up looking the same all the time. I do wish there was a little bit more you could do with them, but it was a cool concept. I appreciated that they did it. And in fact, I remember like the trailer, the announcement trailer for Hearthfire. I actually couldn't believe that something like that would like come out and be a thing, you know? Hola, Lastor, ¿cómo estás? Housing mods are good for that. Housing mods, you say? How do you feel about Michael Kirkbride and his lore for the ES series? I mean, I've watched a lot of videos kind of going in depth about like the kind of lore that was written by him. I don't know. I like it. I think it like kind of gets a bit more hate than it should. It's just it's still interesting. You know what I mean? I think the best like if you want to get the best of like Michael Kirkbride's lore, the best channel to look into is Fudge Muppet. I think they kind of get into a lot of his lore, like pretty in depth, and they'll mention that it's his as well. So Kirkbride is the pillar of the Elder Scrolls lore. Yeah, he absolutely is. Kirkbride gets hate. Like I've seen like a few things, like oh, you know, kind of like when somebody gets into that kind of lore, saying like oh, you're like getting so hung up on this and that. Like I don't know. I like his lore. The OG lore guy. Yeah, like it's OG and I like it. I like it. Houses in Oblivion were sweet. The goat. The goat. Do you play the key? Yeah, I do. I do play the piano. Fudge Muppet is what got me into Elder Scrolls and the lore. It's all I watch / listen to now. Yeah, they're especially the podcasts. I love just like listening to the podcasts. Would you flee with the Empire soldiers or the Stormcloaks? The Stormcloaks. The Stormcloaks always. I think Kirkbride is insane and I support it. Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's so nice to see you back on YouTube and so active. Thank you. It's nice to see you here too. Smart. Curating Curious Curiosities is a fun series. Watching that to fall asleep to sometimes. That is that Camel Works, I think? Right? What's your favorite Skyrim wife or husband of choice? Okay. The blacksmith from Riften. What's his name? Firebrand, I think is his surname. Oh, God, hold on. No, it's not Firebrand. The blacksmith, the one that wants the fire salts. What's his name? Does anybody remember? Alvor. No, not Alvor. Balimund. Yeah. Is am I like completely off with like the Firebrand thing? I don't know why I associated with that. Probably because he wants the fire salts. But yeah, he's great. You know, he's the only character that you marry in the game that technically also gives you like a kid. Like you become the step mom of his son because he's got a son. So there you go. Do you watch Wilburger? Yeah, I do. I think his Oblivion videos are great. I loved it. Did he do Sims videos as well? Hold on. I think he might have. Wait. Yeah, he did Sims videos, and I thought they were crazy as well. I think I love The Sims as well, so I love The Sims 3. Crazy. Sims, by the way, I like, especially recently when I thought about it, I associate The Sims a lot, especially like Sims 2, Sims 3, with Oblivion. Like, hear me out. The Sims are like very colorful, very bright games, like very cheery looking, like on the surface, right? On the surface. Kind of like Oblivion. When you look at Oblivion on the surface, it's a very bright game. Like there's, a lot of color. It's a bit like wacky looking. But when you get into it, like it's actually quite dark, you know? Like it is actually quite like dark by itself in the back. So I think that like that's why I've always had like an association between The Sims and Oblivion, just because like again on the surface level, like you see like this really bright, cheery looking thing, but like when you really look into it, down like it's really scary and really dark. I love it. Stefano, muchísimas gracias. Un besito. Lo aprecio un montón. Do you think you'll make a video about the recurring quests in Elder Scrolls? Yeah. I don't want to, you know what I don't want to do with the channel? I don't want to like get into a lot of the things that have already been like covered through and through in the community, in the sense like that there's a lot of videos that have already been done by creators, and they've been done really, really well already, that like I mean there isn't a whole lot more that I could add to them, like for example people that go through like a specific quest line or a specific quest by itself, and like a deep dive into the lore in this particular quest, and like those videos are great and I like them, but I don't want to repeat them because Folk Firebeard is the guy from Solitude. Sorry, yeah, is he from Solitude? I like completely confused them. But yeah, anyways, I don't want to get into all of that myself, just because again it's been done and it's been done well. And if there's not more to say about it, I don't see a reason to like, go through it again. But I will be doing videos about things that like I feel like I do have something to say about, or something that hasn't been covered. Like clothing is not going to be the only thing that we talk about on this channel. So clothing is an interesting topic to me, and I think that it's one that hasn't fully been explored in the community just yet, which is why I decided to go down that route with the videos. But it won't be the only thing that we talk about or look into, just because there's a lot more details and a lot more other things, like I'm not like a clothing specialist expert, like my own fashion sense is questionable at times, I'm not like the biggest fashionista or like trendy person in the world, but it is a part of the world. It's great. It's a cool detail to look at, and so that's why I do want to cover things like that. Folk Firebeard is the advisor. Yeah, I don't know why I confused him with Ballymund. I get it's the fire salts thing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I vote looking at the food too. The food in Elder Scrolls games slaps. It looks so good for no reason, honestly. You're so right about getting into that. Folk Firebeard is the advisor dude in Solitude. Yeah, that's right. What's the most underrated Oblivion quest? For me, one of my favorite, I believe it's the Malakath quest. Sorry, just one sec. Oblivion Malakath quest. Hold on. I think. Yeah. So the one where he kind of sends you to this house that has like ogre slaves, and then you can free the slaves and make like the owners of that estate slaves. That's like a very underrated quest. I love that quest. I remember discovering it for the first time, and like it was so crazy. I loved it. It's like such poetic justice where you free the ogres. Yeah, I loved it. I think it's a great quest. It was surprisingly deep. Yeah, it's really cool. I love that one. If you do a video about food, don't forget the official cookbook they released. Perhaps we could do a cooking stream. Will you cover the fashion armor ignoring stats in the Elder Scrolls and or WoW? So the Elder Scrolls, you mean like we have done already for Morrowind and Oblivion? I think I'd like to do it for WoW. It would be an interesting one to get into, but like we'd have to really look at what way we're going to organize and separate it, because of course World of Warcraft has, several expansions and like additions that were made to the clothing. I probably think if I was going to do something like this, I would keep it like in vanilla myself. Cooking stream sounds awesome. But they are ogres. They've caused me so much trouble traveling in the game world. Yeah, I know, but it was cool to release them. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I don't know much about WoW fashion, so I'd be down to see that. Yeah, WoW fashion's actually pretty cool. I was always a tailor, I think, just because I kind of just like the idea of like clothing in that world, just as a whole. But also, of course, mages being tailors, best thing ever. But also, the other thing that doesn't actually like help you in any way in the game. I love the Goblin Totem hidden mechanic in Oblivion. You can steal one clan's totem and put it in another clan's base, and they will wage war on each other. There was a channel that did a video on Goblin Wars in Oblivion. I do not remember the name of the channel, but like again, I'm sure if you look up Goblin Wars, like that'll be the first video you find. I think it's got like several million views. Super interesting. It does a really good deep dive into Goblin Wars and how they work in Oblivion. And yeah, that's a crazy mechanic. I love that. Would you consider doing a speculative video on fashion in areas of Tamriel not yet explored? Love the channel, by the way. This is the fresh content the Elder Scrolls community needed. A speculative video would be fun. I think that one thing you could base it on is what the cultures and the races of Elder Scrolls are based on, like compared to the real world. Like that would be a fun to do if you do that kind of an overlap, and then you could speculate on the fashion. Also, Lord Rugdumph is the best Oblivion NPC. My favorite Oblivion NPC is that wine guy that I mentioned before. I'm sorry, like there's nobody better for me. I know he's so insignificant and he does like nothing, but I love him. I think he's great. The fashion of the fashion of the armor rather than just the clothes. Yeah, like the armor, I'd like to look into it. It's cool, but it is also something that's been extensively covered, and like it's been covered very well. But if you're interested in that, I could do my take on it too. The best Oblivion NPC is Glarthir for sure. Oh no, stop. When I was doing my my last Oblivion video and I was getting footage for it in Skingrad, he started following me around, and it just so happened that I was there at midnight, and so he starts walking to me. I wanted like to get some footage of the chapel and of inside the chapel, and he starts getting close, you know, to the meeting place when you're supposed to meet with him, and he like tells you like all of his like paranoid fantasies. Yeah, I just see him like coming up to me. He's like, "Oh God, please don't." When's your birthday? My birthday is the 28th of February. You guys better say happy birthday to me on the 28th of February. I will be so offended if I don't get a happy birthday on the 28th of February. In fact, I think it will be an absolute deal breaker. I think this channel will just go down. It will disappear forever. Nobody will ever hear anything from me in this channel again if I do not hear a happy birthday on the 20th of February. This is the most important thing to note. No more content. It's finished. Everything is done. Oblivion is cancelled if I do not hear a happy birthday on the 28th of February. That's just... I just thought you guys should know. Absolute deal breaker. Don't worry, I'm marking it on my calendar. Thank you. See, somebody's being proactive. I like that. 29th of February, got it. I'm not even going to say anything, you know? I'm not even going to say anything. If the channel disappears, just know it is Newfound Power 92's fault. Angelica zero sums on the 20th of February. Jesus. Happy birthday in advance. No. It doesn't work in advance. You see, it has to be on the actual day. In advance is like the easy way. No. We're doing this on hard mode. Okay. Can you put it into Elder Scroll calendar terms? What would February be in Elder Scrolls months? Hold on. So, we've got Morning Star, Sun's Dawn. All right, well, it's going to be on the 28th of Sun's Dawn, right? The 28th of Sun's Dawn. There you go. My mom knew somebody who was born on the 29th. I think I was supposed to be born on the 29th, but I'm glad I wasn't. We all know her real birthday is the 27th of last sea, the year of Akatosh 430. How did you know? I barely remember my own birthday. How can you not remember your own birthday, man? Happy late birthday. Thank you. There is a chart somewhere. Yeah, I literally just found it. I assure you we've already forgotten your birthday. Man, that is so disappointing. What if I just spent the last 5 minutes telling you all about it for? Might as well just leave. Goodbye. This is finished. That's Midas, the 28th of Sun's Dawn. Exactly. Would architecture or the landmarks be the series of the series be a topic you'd cover? Sorry, like I can't read. Yeah, absolutely. Love the architecture. Love the look. Anything aesthetic, right? Anything to do with the look. Yes. Love it. We'll do it. We'll cover it. We'll talk about it for 20 minutes and we'll not stop. Yes. When was your birthday? No, that's it. I've said it once, and that was it. It will never be said again. If I don't remember my birthday, I won't get older. Actually, that's a pretty cool life hack. What sign were you born under, Thief? How did you know? Why celebrate your birthday while you can celebrate every day? as a live day. I mean, you could. That's true. 20th of February. Cheaters, hackers. I can't wait for it. Good. Good. Yes. Mark it on your calendars. Thoughts on Dagoth Based. Most based content creator in the world. And I do mean like the AI generated content that was created by Dagoth. I swear, like I went through a phase of those videos. I like what was it, a Burger King one or a McDonald's one where like Dagoth was like not happy with the service? Yeah, that's my niche. That's my Roman Empire. That's what I watch all the time. Dagoth welcomes us, his sweet, persistent friends. Where's the Slav race in Skyrim? I think the closest thing to a Slav race in Skyrim are probably Nords. Like, it's all kind of related there when you really, really look back in the real world, so I think that that's the closest thing. Lol, so I did the inflection, how he delivers his blows, it's so addictive. Nords seem Slavic too. Yeah. Would you have an orcish chef prepare your birthday dinner? The gourmet? Colovians. I suspect she made her own Dagoth boyfriend AI. No, I didn't. We're going to get Wes Johnson to send you a video for your birthday. Dude, that would be like the craziest gift ever. If that that would be sick. Now that would be absolutely sick, man. I would absolutely love that. I would flex that all the time as well. I would show that to freaking everybody. How many hours of Skyrim do you have, noob or pro? I don't know, because like how can I count it if like I played it on PS3, right? So the first time I ever played Skyrim was on PS3, and that was over 10 years ago, right? So there's no way that I can check like my save files there now, you know. Then PS4, I played it, and I played several different editions for it. So because there was the like just Skyrim that came out, there was like another special edition of Skyrim that came out. I also played Skyrim VR, but admittedly I didn't play that for very long because I get very motion sick when I play VR. It's very hard for me. So I didn't do a whole lot of that. But then I played it on PC a whole lot, and I played it on 2 different PCs. So yeah, it's very hard to keep track of how many hours I have in Skyrim. But it's safe to say that a whole lot. A lot. Oh, I also played on my Switch. That's right. I have a Nintendo Switch. I love playing Skyrim on the Switch. I swear, ultimate cozy game. Like, it's Animal Crossing level cozy when you play it on your Switch. It's the best thing ever. You could be like literally in bed or you're traveling. Like I did this when I was flying to Japan. Very, very long flight, but like it's super cozy. It's great. I love that. Skyrim on the Switch was like the best thing ever. I wish Oblivion would come out on the Switch. I know that's probably never going to happen, but I don't want an Oblivion remaster. I want Oblivion on the Switch. That's what I want. Like the exact Oblivion on the Switch. That would be like cozy game times like 100. Love that. No sé inglés, pero te saludo igualmente. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Un gusto tenerte por acá. ¿Será que Luis ya te contó todo, no? Bienvenido, bienvenido. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Te va todo bien? I'd kill for Morrowind on the Switch. That would be like super cozy as well. A ti, por cierto, te vendría súper bien aprender inglés. Quizás aprenderás algo, eh? Perhaps the Oblivion Remastered will be on Switch. I mean, yeah, but like if the remastered isn't good, you know what I mean? Gotta be careful. Diablo 2, in fairness, was on the Switch, resurrected, and that's good. I like Diablo Resurrected on the Switch. I will say that. Let's not even think about a universe without Lord of the Rings. Huge Lord of the Rings fan. I have seen the whole saga like I don't know how many times in my life. Every year I do like at least one reviewing of it. I've seen it so the first years of my life up until actually pretty recently I'd watched it all the time in Russian. So because like we had the original DVDs from, you know, from way back when, we had them all in Russian. And so I watched them all the time with my family. But then we got the extended editions off of Amazon, and that was actually it was off of German Amazon, so it's called like Herr der Ringe or something like that. And those are extended editions, but we watched them in English then. So the first time I ever watched Lord of the Rings in English was the extended editions. I'd never ever watched it in English before that. I'd only known it in Russian. So it was funny because like getting into it in English then, like, you know, when you've watched a movie so many times that you can like almost speak all of the lines of like the characters. It was weird like watching it in English and like not being able to follow it that way, you know? Favorite Lord of the Rings Russian translation. Oh god, I don't know my favorite translation. I remember things like "Бегите, глупцы." You know when like Gandalf like falls and he like run, fly, you fools. In Russian he says "Бегите, глупцы." Like I'll definitely remember a few more now if I think about it. Der Herr der Ringe. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, it's cool. Um, Thoughts on fantasy with modern technology? Fantasy with modern technology? How do you mean? Also, have you seen Gorge the Corpse Grinder in WoW? Gorge the Corpse Grinder? Hold on a sec. Tank Commander is a level 74 quest giver located at Garrosh's Landing in Borean Tundra. God, I don't remember this at all. Hold on. There's like a wiki around him. He's a quest giver in Borean Tundra. Wait, that's Annihilator Geklor. Gorge the Corpse Grinder. What was his thing? Where are you from? I'm Russian. I feel like Russian Gimli would sound terrifying. He was pretty cool in Russian, actually. They were all cool in Russian. I like them all. Hey, Oblivion girl. Hey, how are you? Стоп, что? Да. Вот. Не ожидали? Бегите, глупцы. Yeah, бегите, глупцы. Стоп, что? Russian y España? Español. Pues sí, los dos. Who are you? The hero of Kavach, of course. The canon one. That's exactly what it was. It was the most confusing person ever. Капец. Ну вот, я так и думала, что для всех это будет просто вообще... Здесь не понять, что происходит. Кто ты? Откуда ты? Top 10 Sims 4 outfits. Okay. Oh, other controversial take. I mean, like, this Q&A has just turned into, like, making up more controversies for my channel. I don't like The Sims 4. I'm sorry, I don't like The Sims 4. Sims 3 is where it stops for me. Sims 3 was great, iconic. Sims 3 with like the color wheel, especially, that's everything you could ever want. I mean, for literally pretty much everything in The Sims 3 is customizable. Sims 4, you are so limited with like everything there. Honestly, and even like now more stuff comes out for it, like the like I guess, is it like expansion or like an edition where like you can rent out like places to people? Yeah, so like so limited in the content, you know, so lackluster, kind of like, you know, comparing Skyrim to Morrowind, that sort of thing, but like worse. Like Sims 4 is very difficult to play. Don't like it at all. And Sims 3, compared to that, very deep, masterpiece, lots of lore. Sims 2, even more so. The Sims has lore. I mean, you look, I as somebody that likes lore in general, The Sims has lore, and The Sims 2 lore in particular, super dark. Which is why, like, I often, like I said, compare it to like Oblivion, right? Super dark. There's a lot to it. A lot, you know? I don't care. GTA 5 way better. If she's Slavic, then she's played Heroes of Might and Magic. I have, of course. I have, of course. Have you heard any news from the other provinces? No, all my news are from Cyrodiil, man. I heard the hero of Kavach was gravely injured by a mud crab. Super unfortunate. Wasn't looking where it was going. Izzy is a good series on Sims lore. There's a few that I watch. I like Plumbella. I think she's got great videos on Sims lore as well. Ah, you're finally awake. Speaking of Might and Magic, have you played Dark Messiah? No, Dark Messiah, I have not. Neverine. There's this really, okay, this is like a really niche thing. There's this game that I played years ago. I don't even know what it would be called in English, but in Russian it was called Magia Kрови, which is like blood magic. Hold on one second. Maybe if I look it up, it'll give me like what it was called in English, but I honestly don't remember how in English, because when I looked at blood magic in English, Dawn of Magic, there it is. It's called Dawn of Magic, and it was It's like a very, very old RPG as well. Super fun. Loved it. Are you Russian? I am, yes. Dawn of Magic, yeah. Very cool. There was a song in it. I remember it for a song about Brantajabra. Very cool. Super, like, not a lot of people know about it or remember it. They have Dawn of Magic on GOG, I think. They do? Hold, they don't. They do not. Hold on a minute. Really? Because I've got GOG. I'm just going to check this out real quick now that you said it, because hold on a minute. No, I do not want to update right now because I'm doing a stream, and if I update, the stream will go away. Dawn of Magic. Yeah, they do. Oh my god. Yo, that's crazy. Thank you so much for mentioning that to me. Hold on. But can you get it here? No, I've just got like Marcus. Oh, hold on. I don't think I own it here. I'll need to take a proper look at it. I don't see it here, but if they do have it, I mean, your English is very good. Where do you live now? I live in Ireland. I've lived in Ireland the last 17 years. GOG has all the old games. Not always. I'm not sure if it has it. I'm not really able to see it. I don't know why it's not really coming up for me. Is it like region restricted maybe? Dawn of Magic game. Yeah. So I get into it and then hold on. Maybe if I look at somewhere else. Home cart. Yeah, so there's a different way to search for them, I think. I think I've just been searching for them wrong, perhaps. Wishlist deals, all games. All right, all games. Let's go. So Dawn of Magic, and it has Dawn of Magic 2, but it does not have the first one. So Dawn of Magic 2 is actually 59 cents right now. Perhaps it doesn't show it to me because I do own it. I don't know. That's really alright. I'll check it out after the stream and see if I have it. Because if I do, oh my god, that's gonna be like the obsession for the next like month. On will Gwelga ein Gwelga agat. Tá Gwelga agam. Vi me eg folum Gwelga us in at school. I don't remember how to say in school, but yeah, I did higher level Irish for the Leaving Cert. I know it really doesn't sound like I did, but it did. The Emerald Isle, nice. Yeah. Is anyone else here from Ireland? Have you tried Turtle WoW private server? I have. I think Turtle WoW is great. Super great. It is obvious that current versions of Classic have taken a lot from Turtle WoW. Specifically the hardcore element and how like it was so popularized. Like not just in Turtle WoW, but just in general with like the hardcore add-on even that was used in just Classic. It does take a lot of it. I'm from Eastern Europe. Do you speak Russian as well? Favorite Elder Scrolls game? Oblivion. I'm like an 8th Irish. So are you from like the US? That's like what a lot of people from US say though. They have like a fraction Irish. My last name is Irish, but I'm American. Well, there you go. See, like a lot of people. Munster Chad here. Oh, Munster Chad. Like what? Cork? I can speak Russian and German. Ich will nicht. Poland, best country. Dzień dobry. Dzień dobry. I don't know. Polish, Russian, some similarities there. I'm American, but I lived in Serbia for a while and that was where I found Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Interesting. Of course, you'd have to be in one of those countries to discover it. I like to play as Munster in Crusader Kings 2. Oh, there you go. Half Irish. So you guys are like a fraction Irish, but most of you don't live in Ireland. I am Irish, mostly Dublin, but in Carrigon Shannon now. Very cool. My last name is Russian, but I'm in Canada. Have you ever been back? Do you speak Russian, or is it just like you've got Russian family, but you live in Canada? Which Elder Scrolls character would you most want to cosplay? Oh god. What a good question. I think Serana would be pretty cool. Also Gaston Cerilli. Yeah, I love Gaston Cerilli. He's great. I'm sorry. You hear about the tornado that ripped through the town in Ireland a few weeks back? That was us. Yeah, I've seen the photos of it. That's crazy. Do you still have a roof and a car? Because I've seen the photos of that and like that's crazy. And that used to never happen in Ireland. You'd kill us, Serana. I think I'd need like darker and shorter hair, possibly. Um, Cerilli brothers represent. Honestly, is there anyone else here that like has some sort of like I don't know appreciation, like a deeper appreciation for the Cerilli brothers? Because I most certainly do. I think they are based. Honestly, so based. They're great. I love them. Glarthir. Uh, you'd cosplay Glarthir. Vivek cosplay would be fire. Yeah. Who here will do a Vivek cosplay? Tamika enjoyer. Nah. Average Cerilli brothers wine enjoyer. Yeah. Tamika L. Sorry. Good wine. Yes. Unrelated, but I recommend you Signalis. Signalis. It's a game, right? Ireland and UK both getting a few tornadoes. Crazy. Yeah, that used to like never happen here. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't possible. And now, jealous of the amulet. How many more times are you going to say that, Kool-Aid? That you are jealous of the amulet? You know, I've seen you say it once. I've seen you say it twice. I've even seen you say it a third time. Do you think that if it wasn't responded to the first 3 times, that it was a good comment, that it was a quality comment, it was the kind of comment that high value gentlemen would make to somebody? Twice. Well, you see, I've clearly seen it enough that it feels like it's already been too much. If I feel like you've said it too much, you've said it too much, man. Is this what a high quality gentleman says? Think about this for a second. Is this who we are? No. No. We are based. We are high quality ladies and gentlemen. We do not say um, these kinds of nonsense, okay? High quality gentlemen things only. Other men of culture in the chat. I'm not alone. No, those are not men of culture. Those are 12-year-olds. Anyways, favorite Elder Scrolls game? Oblivion. Always is going to be Oblivion. You need to take it to Joffrey. Yeah, he didn't want it. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? Gendry, you're not gonna come in here and like speak Spanish. Not here, right? How are you? Welcome. A true gentleman prays it. Yeah, look, there's so much to focus on here. Really, like the amulet is like the last thing. Only respectable people in here. Exactly. Only respectable, high quality gentlemen and ladies, of course. Never played these games. Where should I start? I started with Oblivion, so I am a little bit biased, but I would recommend you start with Oblivion. Are you from Ireland? I'm not from Ireland, but I live in Ireland. Sí, bueno, Gendry. The most basic Spanish phrase. He is actually notorious in my Spanish channel for repeating that phrase all the time. I'll be leaving then. That's quite all right. I hope that when you come back, you've gained the skill of being a high quality gentleman. At the moment, it is a bit of a skill issue. Anyways, what's the plant? Unfortunately, this isn't real. It's plastic. Someone else has asked me about this already. These are plastic. I just had these from Amazon, I think. And yeah, I moved to this place recently, so I kind of decided to like decorate a little bit, and I put up the curtains, and I thought, hey, the fake vine would look good on the curtains, so I put it there. Envious of the jewel. You know, if you say it in a different way, it doesn't make it any less how would we say it, like E-tier gentleman speak. Wouldn't even put you in gentleman, just E-tier comment. All right. High quality gentleman tutorial when? Right now. This is the tutorial of how to be a high quality gentleman. Wait, are you Spanish? No, I'm not Spanish. I'm Russian. Am I mod or no? How can I make you a mod, Gendry? Hold on a minute. Oh, I actually can right now. Add as a moderator. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. So Gendry is a very good friend and also an avid Elder Scrolls enjoyer. All he plays is Morrowind, by the way. He's never played Skyrim or Oblivion. He just plays Morrowind all the time. He doesn't play any other games. He doesn't know any other games. He only has Morrowind installed on his computer, and that's all he plays. In fact, he doesn't even play it on a computer. He plays it on a calculator, a Casio at that. Holy based. Yeah, based. That is pretty based, yeah. Anyone mentioned the amulet is it's very pronounced placement. You have it on. Maybe I'll mention it 50 times and you might address it. Yeah, mention it another 50 times later. Maybe I might notice it. I just want to say on that note, I've done this song and dance before. So there's really nothing that can kind of be said to me or about me, we'll say in that particular sense that I haven't heard before or that's going to hurt me. As I mentioned before, I have other channels. I've done the internet before, okay? I know exactly what it is to be a girl on the internet. Like, I understand it very well. And I'm also not going to let it change absolutely anything about the content or anything else, you know? I think that if that's what people choose to focus on, well, then they're either 12 or there's something else wrong with them. But again, I've done this before. I know what this is, and it's it's pretty cringe, to be honest. It's pretty cringe that it's still attempted. Um, the amulet means you got to talk to Joffrey. Of course, we're jealous of you. I mean, yeah, that part of it, yeah, I can get that. I absolutely get that. Preach. A girl gamer? What? A girl gamer in 2024? That's just not a thing. Like, literally, all the girls in this chat, by the way, you are not real. You don't exist. Yeah, that's right. Very sorry, Daniela, if you're still here. You're not there. Ellie, you're also not here. You don't exist. No, nobody that plays video games. King Khan, are you a girl? I don't exist. Where's your accent from? I am. Well, I don't know. Angelica's pretty bad at Fortnite. Wow, that's my own father, by the way. I just want you. There's a lot of lore coming in here that you guys. All right. Roman Skamnyam is my dad, and he has he's speaking to us from his Russian YouTube channel. So he's roasting me right now, telling people that I'm pretty bad at Fortnite. Dad, are we doing this right now? Is this are we gonna do this right now? I'm learning so much today, bro. This is not at all what I intended this stream to be. But then my dad came in and like started base dad. I can't believe he's doing this. I'm actually better at Fortnite than you are, so. And I'm willing to prove it. I am. Damn, you Irish. The Isles was fine. I'm not Irish. I'm Russian, but I live here. The Isles was fine until you came along. British Empire was nice and lazy. If I hadn't been looking for you, I could have stolen that 2002 Honda Civic and be halfway to Belgium. That is not where I was expecting that comment to go. I'm sorry. She's AI generated. Yeah, I'm AI generated. That's it. That's it. Classic dad move, going out of their way to embarrass and make fun of their children. I swear, like he was sitting there, he was watching the stream, like super chill, and then he just decides to interject. We're chilling here, we're talking about something, and my dad just decides that this is the perfect moment to expose my lackluster Fortnite skills. Thank you, Dad. I will be mentioning this at the next family dinner, and I will not let it go. Absolutely not. I'm so annoyed now. This has ruined my day. Gendry, it worked. Are you both just in on this? Gendry, what are you doing? If there's one thing I know, it's how to wind up chicken. Bro, this is so mean. Kool-Aid vanished, thank God. Maybe he's gone to skill up as a high quality gentleman. I do wish him the best of luck in that particular venture. It is his parental duty. Yeah, I guess, but man, 1v1 dad in Fortnite stream? Honestly, next thing that we're gonna do. What new vids are you cooking up? That is a secret, but there will be a new video up on the channel pretty soon, so keep an eye out. You embarrassed me in front of the cool YouTube audience. Yeah, Dad, all these people, they think I'm cool. Stop, like, ruining their perception of me, okay? They had a good impression of me up until you told them I'm bad at Fortnite. You do realize that for a lot of people, this is a deal breaker. Once they realize that I cannot play Fortnite, they're out of here. They're gone. Unsubscribed, unfollowed, goodbye. Why do you have to do that? Why do you have to sabotage me in this way? Have you heard of the Straight Outta Cyrodiil? Straight Outta Cyrodiil? Play Quake single player or multi? I played like LAN parties with my little brother when I played Quake. That's what I remember from Quake. Do an Irish accent. To be honest with you, I don't really want to offend anyone with my terrible. I'm so bad at imitating accents. I can't do it. I can speak other languages, but I cannot imitate accents. I'm very sorry. So yeah. Wait, she's bad at Fortnite? Yeah, there you go. I told you, it's already starting. Cancel culture is so rough, my guy. Oh my god. I can't believe this is happening. Is Fortnite still popular? You know what? again, talking about like me liking stuff that's like classic and vanilla, I went back to Fortnite when the OG update was out. And like even at that, it wasn't like OG, it was like season 5, but whatever. I went back to it because you know what? It was good back then. Breton unarmed build for the win. And in Morrowind at that. I would just like to point out he does this in Morrowind. So there you go. Breton big brawny brain boy. Oh, I know Dad had to be killing it in Heroes of Might and Magic back in the day. He still does. He still does. Gendry, where is the library? Very good question, Zaik. ¿Cómo estás? Hola, hola. ¿Cómo andas? Zaik, aunque tú no hables inglés, yo te voy a poner como moderador, ¿vale? Porque, por si acaso, por si acaso. I finally started an Argonian in Morrowind. And how's it going? Hi, Angelica. Hola, hola, Zaik. ¿Cómo estás? Would you try Moon Sugar? Off the record? Yeah, why not? What? I didn't say anything. Nobody heard anything. I watched that stream. What stream? Oh, the Breton unarmed build. Yeah, that'll be pretty sick. Will you cover Daggerfall clothes? I haven't counted it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it had almost twice as much clothes as Morrowind and Oblivion combined. Yeah, I'd say it probably has a pretty sick amount. Like it's funny going backwards with these games, how like these elements improve, and so yeah, it'll be pretty fun. OMG, this AI streamer is based. AI streamer, non-existent. Oh, now it all makes sense when she plays Khajiit. Look, it's like catnip. That wasn't the intention, but hey. La biblioteca está a la izquierda, hermano. Want to buy some skooma, anyone? Gendry, not in the chat. I told you. Later. Is moon sugar just Coke? Love that stuff. Is it expensive in Ireland? No, moon sugar is moon sugar. I don't know what you're talking about. We don't have such a thing in Tamriel, okay? But we have moon sugar. And it's ballin'. Taking some catnip laying down as she continues to ramble about the Elder Scrolls lore would be epic. Yeah, you know, I'd be that one friend that would pull up to the party with like moon sugar and just ramble on about the lore. So anyway, the Khajiit pantheon, you know, that would be me, just in the corner. Actually talking to no one, like there's also nobody there, but you know, it doesn't matter. It's content. Have you ever played the Elder Kings mod for Crusader Kings? It covers a lot of fun lore. No, I haven't. Again, not big on mods, but I suppose mods that like add content like that. I'd have like a different feel to about it because you know like Sky Oblivion at the end of the day, for example, it is essentially just like a very very big mod. When I talk about like not using mods, I am mostly referring to things that like within the game itself, you know, change a lot, like the aesthetics and all that. That's sort of what I don't, or like mechanics as well. Like there's some pretty crazy mods out there right now, especially ones that like change the gameplay style. So for example, there's one that kind of turns Skyrim into almost like a Souls-like game with the combat specifically. I don't remember what it's called. I did see a trailer for it fairly recently. Like it's fun, it looks good, but it's not for me, at least right now anyway, you know. Post-apocalyptic zombie mods. Thoughts on the lusty Argonian maid? Based literature is my thoughts. Unironically waiting for somebody to make a moon sugar lore video. I might have to take a look into that. Maybe somebody's already done that. Is that no? This is San Pellegrino. This is No, I'm not just gonna like take a bottle of wine and like down it on stream, bro. This is San Pellegrino. It is natural mineral water, and it's very good. I like sparkling water. That's like my red flag. Nobody else likes sparkling water, but I do. It's based. Is that a keyboard in the background? Are you gonna jam out? Not today, but I could do a musical stream if you guys wanted. Water based San Pellegrino. Spicy water. Yeah, it's spicy water. On the topic of spicy, I just really like spicy food as well. So I guess like those sort of sensations is what like appeals to me the most. Be a lot cooler if you did chug wine. No, it wouldn't. Absolutely not. I've got like 6 types of sparkling water on tap. What do you mean on tap? Like at home? Liquid TV static. Yeah, it's liquid TV static, and it's so good. It's so good. Is Russian food known for being spicy? No, it actually isn't. But Russian food is still great. But I just like really like I love Mexican food. I love Indian food as well, a lot. The spicier, the better. There is a particular restaurant that I like visiting here, an Indian restaurant, and their spiciest thing on the menu was one of the first things I ever ordered there. And I do remember asking for it, and the waiter being like, "Are you sure this is what you want?" And I just kind of look at him like, "How dare you doubt my abilities?" You know? What do you mean, am I sure if this is what I want? I've seen the 3 chili peppers drawn next to the name of this dish. I know what I'm getting into. Step back and let the experts do the work. Thank you very much. How about Thai food? Yeah, Thai food is pretty good too. Haven't had a lot of it. I've been to like a couple of restaurants here in Ireland, just Thai food. Not my go-to, but I still like it. Yeah, it's pretty good. Indian curry is very popular in England. I guess it may be in Ireland too. Yeah, a lot. Seltzers have more carbonation than sparkling water, if memory serve. Seltzers? When the server asks that, it's always terrifying. When the server asks me that, like, is this a challenge? Are you challenging me right now? Is this what this is? Watch me. Stand there, give me the dish, and then watch me eat it. Yeah. I accept the challenge. I like grilled meat and boiled vegetables. And that's good too. I hate when I ask for a rare steak and they explain to me what a rare steak is to make sure that I want it. I think that's pretty funny. It reminds me of Little Britain. That one character that was always in the wheelchair, but he could actually walk. I can't remember what his name was, but was it his brother that would like bring him stuff because he would like really really want something, and then he gives it to him. And he's like, I don't want it. I don't like it. I feel like that's kind of like that. English stream. That's a new one for me. You're welcome. Welcome to the channel, Lou and Andy. Yes, thank you. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's kind of like that. I feel like they go with like that Lou and Andy logic. Like they make sure you really want it because they've probably in defense of like the servers that ask you if you're sure you want the rare steak and like they explain what the rare steak is to you. I would say that they do this because they've had experiences of somebody like adamantly wanting the rare steak, but then in the end being like, I don't want it. It's not done right, So like, yeah, that's probably why they ask. Here's your congratulations steak. Well done. Do they have Ren fairs in Ireland? Do you go? I'm sure they do, but I've never been. I'd love to go though. I'd love to go. Just to any Ren fair anywhere, not even just in Ireland. I'd love to go to a Ren fair. I think they look super fun. Why do you stream at 1 a.m. by the way? Skuma Car would have disappointed. Well, I'm actually going to be moving on later on to my Spanish stream. So I stream pretty late. Like I just started this stream because I thought it would be fun to do. I haven't tried this on the English channel yet. And I thought it would be cool because the channel kind of it did blow up a little bit out of nowhere. So I thought it would be good if we just kind of talked and got to know each other. So you guys kind of have a bit more context about me and about where I actually came from and like what is this channel and what is all this stuff that's going on here, because again, I think that a lot of people have been very confused. I've gotten like a lot of comments of people being very confused and like, what is this? Like, why do you have like an Instagram account in Spanish and all this? So yeah, I thought it would be fun to just like explain all of that before I continued on with the regular content. Good night, chat. Thanks, Angelica, for this Q&A. Daniela, muchísimas gracias. De verdad fue un gusto conocerte. Y en general, muchísimas gracias. Yo que a ti te veo en los comentarios, en todos los videos, lo aprecio un montón, de verdad. Mucho amor desde Irlanda hasta donde estés tú. Buenas noches. What do you usually do in streams? We do like a variety of things. We do a lot of just chatting. We do a lot of like just variety games. We don't really focus on like one particular thing. You know what I mean? Me gusta. I think I picked up on a phrase. Very good. Texas Ren Fair sucked. It was the saddest and worst looking one. No idea. Haven't seen it. I found your channel looking for something to throw on whilst I worked on a Morrowind-inspired commission. Ended up binging the entirety of what you've uploaded. Really? I'm so glad you liked it. It's so fun when you discover a channel, like, especially for me with, like, Elder Scrolls-related context. That's probably what I've done with, like, all of the channels that I follow. I found their video on, like, a specific topic, and I see, like, they've got, like, loads of videos on, like, these topics. And so I would literally binge them, like, when doing anything on the side, and it's fun. It's really cool. You're just top tier, honestly. Be careful walking around with an amulet of Mara. This isn't an amulet of Mara, my friend. This is an amulet of kings. I am no longer able to wear an amulet of Mara. So there you go. Is the audience very different between your English and Spanish channels? I mean, in my Spanish channel, I have an audience of people that I very much know from like a long time ago. So I feel like the streams there are a little bit different in the sense that, I'm speaking to people that I know. I see them all the time in my streams. And perhaps if we do more streams here, I'm going to get to know a lot of you guys a lot more. We're going to have more regulars. We're going to like know each other, understand each other a lot more. So this is definitely different in the sense that like we don't really know each other yet. This is all very new and we're doing this for the first time, you know? I'm a bit late to the stream. How long have you been in Era? Also, I don't think there is Ren fairs here. Really? That's really surprising. Like, that's actually super surprising. I'm sure if you looked it up, there must be something, like, somewhere. Um, Best Beast Race. Khajiit, 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 Khajiit. Um, hello, love your videos. Thank you so much. Go watch The Laughing Simon in your own time. Unique Skyrim. It's hilarious how he plays his characters in Skyrim in VR. Oh, he plays in VR. There's a guy that plays Skyrim in VR that also has a mod with like AI voices. Is that the same guy? Feindal or Sven? Honestly, both of them uh are red flags. I've mostly like helped Sven. No, no, not Sven. Sorry, Feindal. I've mostly helped Feindal. But the very first person that I helped was Sven. I don't know why. No, actually, I do know why. I tried to look for Feindal. That was the problem. I was playing Skyrim for the first time, so I went into Riverwood, and Sven is the first NPC you see, and he starts with the whole Camilla Valerius. Feindal thinks he can woo Camilla Valerius away from me. She's already mine. I tell him, I see this guy, and he seems to be pretty in love, and whatever. He's the first one you talk to. He gave me like the fake letter, and then I tried to look for Feindal because I thought like surely I'll be able to say something to this guy about this one like trying to spread rumors. I couldn't find him. I walked around all of Riverwood. I walked around like where they've got like the lumber mill. Couldn't find him. Like he's just straight up. I waited outside his house. Didn't find him, didn't see him. So I just decided, well, I'm not going to waste any more time, and I went with Sven. So after that, in my like other playthroughs, I mostly like help out Feindal, to be honest. Loris Tyrell, thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate it a lot. The AI voices, you mean the mod where they Google translated everything and use them and then use the AI to voice them? Yeah. So there's this one guy that like he talks to the NPCs, and they kind of like respond to him in like their AI voice lines with like their character voice. He mostly talks about American football with them though, so like I don't really get like a lot of the context in it. But yeah, I think he's on TikTok or something. Maybe he's not on YouTube. Did you kill the Riverwood chicken? I did kill the chicken. I did. And I didn't even mean to. That was like the most painful thing. I didn't mean to. I just swung like whatever I was holding and the chicken died. And so everybody got like super aggroed and yeah, horrible. The real Baranzai books in Daggerfall literally have Khajiit smut in them. They do, but they're very fun. They're very fun, those books. I've read all of them. Too bad the quest is playing both Feindal and Sven. Yeah. I need mods to live out my top tier Skyrim slowed RP. Skyrim slowed RP. Oh my god. That's based. Will you do the reviews about the books in the Elder Scrolls? That would be awesome. We could do that. I definitely have a few favorites in the series. So yeah. The poor chicken. Yeah, I know. It did nothing. Like, in fairness, the chicken did absolutely nothing. It was a victim, but I feel like I was kind of a victim too. When you're holding a controller and you just like, you hit the trigger without wanting to, and then you hit something without wanting to. And yeah, that was it. Good night, chat. Good night. Thank you for stopping by. Um, It's really a shame that AI voice is kind of scummy in terms of rights and stuff. I know Claudia Christian, who voices a lot of the Nord women, isn't happy with the use of her voice in the AI project. Yeah, AI is a very complicated topic when it comes to like taking other people's work and other people's art. It could essentially mean the end of a lot of these kinds of jobs, especially in like the voice acting industry, you know. Ricardo, thank you so much for the donation. Good night, chat. Long live the empire, though. Damn. Damn. I do appreciate the donation, but I will have to respectfully disagree with your wrong opinion. Do you play all of the Bethesda games? So I've played Fallout. I think Fallout New Vegas is my favorite in the Fallout series. I played very little Fallout 4. Very, very little. So I think that's possibly something to look into now as well. I mean, as a newly unemployed person, because I got laid off last week, I will have a lot of time to get into a lot of these things that I didn't have time to get into before. So there you go. There's a good and a bad side to it. This banhammer is fun. Gendry, you are making very great use of it. Thank you. Appreciate it a lot. Dark Souls drip review when? That would be great. I think that would be really fun to do, but I would have to play it a lot more to probably be able to talk about it, you know. A Fallout New Vegas enjoyer, a woman of taste. It's super fun. Good to see there's mods here. Thank you for your work, mods. Yeah, again, Drew, thank you so much. What Oblivion song is the best to slow dance to? Ooh. Harvest Dawn, I guess. I don't know, maybe. Harvest Dawn or All's Well. No. Yeah, All's Well, I think, would be cool. Probably. New Vegas mentioned. Woo, New Vegas mentioned. Who's the most kissable character in Oblivion? This is so controversial, man. Lucien LeChance and Gaston Cerilli. I've mentioned this guy like 7 times in this stream already. Does anybody else care about Gaston Cerilli? Is he anybody else's favorite? Shea Gorath. I wouldn't recommend that, to be honest. Valtieri. Also Valtieri, yeah, but that could be kind of dangerous. Gaston, base. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody gets it. Somebody is a man or woman of taste. Lucien is not controversial, though. Yeah, I know, but we're doing like this whole, you know, how do you call this particular type of content? It's not smash or pass because this is just kissing, but still. What about Martin? I mean, yeah, literally because Sean Bean. So yeah. Mayrune's Dagon. Most kissable NPC. Mayrune's Dagon, yeah. Right, so I think I'm going to move on to Twitch right now for my Spanish channel because I have a Spanish stream to do right now. But I just want to say a huge thanks to everybody that joined the stream. It was really fun to get to know you all and chat to you guys. I hope to do more streams here. We'll kind of see what we'll do for the streams because I do want to keep them like content related, Elder Scrolls related. This one was kind of like more open because it was sort of like a Q&A and just to like, I don't know, I guess have you guys get to know me a little bit because I kind of sort of appeared in this space and I didn't really say anything else other than, hey, I like the drip in Oblivion. It's pretty sick. So I thought it would be fun to do this and like get you guys to, you know, to get to know me. I'll give you my Twitch link here. So it's going to be a Spanish stream. So anybody that speaks Spanish, this is this particular channel is for you. Helk says, thank you so much for the donation. Have a good night. Excited for more content. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much. Yeah, so anyways, thank you guys. It was so fun to meet you all. And keep an eye out for the next video that's going to come out this week. I'm not going to tell you what it's going to be on, but it was also a pretty funny video to make. And yeah, thank you guys so much. And for those of you who are going to my Twitch, see you on Twitch. But for now, good night. Yeah, be seeing you. Bye.